Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I am an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name AN Sage. I have a fun little video planned for today. It's another one of these screen ones. I am actually working a ton on my computer today. And so I thought, unlike normal, where I would either be kind of like in my reading chair or in front of our home library, that we would do another one of these because I want to share something with you that's exciting. So to start off, if you are new to this channel, I like to basically share pretty much anything that helps me in my writing, things that I've discovered along the way after having published 26 books and counting, and having been both traditionally and indie published. And so anything that I come across that's really helpful or new things that I am doing, I kind of try to share here. And so if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, make sure that you are subscribed and that you so you don't miss any other notifications or new videos that come out. I do try to put videos out bi-weekly. And they're usually writing related. Sometimes we also have planner things. So today, though, they are writing related. They're very writing related, as you can probably tell from the screen. They are, let me just enlarge this so you can't see all the background stuff. But the thing we're going to talk about is Kickstarter for authors specifically. So I am about to launch a Kickstarter for Kartega, and I will kind of put like a picture in post somewhere here of the special book cover and the edition. And obviously you'll see it on the thumbnail of this video, but this is going to be my first Kickstarter. And when I was starting out trying to plan it, and I've been doing this for many months now since the beginning of the year, I found a lot of resources online. There's a Facebook group that's called Kickstarter for Authors. There's people you can just ask, and so there's a lot of information out there. I was watching a lot of YouTube as well. So the only thing that I could not find is somebody sharing kind of the back end of what Kickstarter would look like when you're setting this up. So you can see kind of what to input and stuff. I found a lot of resources on how to like calculate costs and who to use for printing and people stories that people were sharing and all that stuff. But nobody that kind of just like walked you through the back end of, or like what the platform would look like for you to set it up, the same way that you have videos on like how to set up KDP and all this stuff. And for some reason, specifically for books, I could not find that anywhere. And some of the things on Kickstarter are a little bit tricky or not as intuitive as you would hope. And so I thought, because mine is launching on Tuesday, so it's going to be launching on the 5th of August, make sure that you are supporting it. If you want to go check it out, I'll leave the link if you want to start following it before it goes, because it's going to be a couple of days after this video goes live, that the actual Kickstarter will be live. And I really hope we get to fund it because it's a beautiful edition. But anyways, when I started to set it up, and then when I finally was ready and I went on Kickstarter and I started like filling stuff out, just for some reason, I'm a very visual learner, and I needed to see somebody else do this. And so I couldn't find that. So I was like dinking around with it myself, but I figured, why don't I make my first screen, my face, very small, my non-makeup face today. And we can take a look at what I have set up as kind of the back end of my Kickstarter, and it might help you when you're trying to figure this out. Now, I'm not going to go super slowly because otherwise this video would be like 1,000 years long, but feel free to pause anything else. The first thing you'll see is, because I already went through the launch process or like getting submitting it to Kickstarter, I'm not live, but you have to submit your project to Kickstarter for them to approve it. And so I already did that ahead of time, so I don't have to worry about it. So there's this big screen here. I am not ready to launch. That's what this big green button is. I can just do promotion right now, but I'm going to talk to you about these pages here. So you've got a couple of pages when you're going and setting up your Kickstarter. The first one is your basics page. In the basics page, you are setting up your title, your subtitle, what your main category is. Mine is young adult and publishing fiction. So there's all different types of categories on Kickstarter that you can actually pick. The location, I'm in Toronto, Canada, so I put that down. Your project image, and you can change this. It's not set in stone, and you should change this regularly to kind of get more traction and for your page to get refreshed in the feed as well before you go live. Then you have a promotional video. So I just kind of filmed a video myself and I put that up there. And that video shows up right at the top of the page. We'll do a preview as well so you can see it. I'm doing it very close to the launch because I didn't want to do it like long before so that people don't get too much of a sneak preview. I have a funding goal. I have a very low funding goal. I just want to see if I can get some of these cool looking books into people's hands. Here we go. This is where it gets more interesting. So we have the option now on Kickstarter to do pledge over time. And this is really great. This is if you have like really high price tiers that people can pay in either full increments or over 3 payments. And this is really great. Everybody recommends to do it. So I did it as well. You don't get the full payment right away, obviously, but you get it in increments. So it depends on what you prefer. I enable pledge over time because while I don't have like a lot of really high tiers on mine, with add-ons and stuff like that, it might get expensive. And so I figured, why not do that? The target launch date, whatever you put here, it doesn't matter. As you can see, I'm way behind of when I thought I was going to start this Kickstarter. This is not like a pre-order type thing that you would have a KDP. It's just for you to plan with. Campaign duration, I'm going to be running mine for 21 days. You can pick what you want here. Shipping. So this is another really kind of cool thing. So now that Kickstarter, and this was recent that they started a pledge manager, which means that you can charge shipping after your campaign. And because shipping costs fluctuate so much, this is actually like for me, because I'm in Canada and shipping is usually expensive for us, this makes the most sense. So what I did was I figured out based on weight and the mock packaging that I did for 1 or 2 books, I calculated how much shipping would cost to like the 5 places that I am shipping to, the main places that I'm shipping to. And I calculated a range from the low end, which would be for 1 book, to the high end, which would be for 2 books. And I put that range kind of, you'll see when I show you what my actual main page will be on Kickstarter. And I put that everywhere so people can get an idea. But I do make it known that that is just an estimation and shipping will change after we actually like finish and after I figure out what their address is, because it does fluctuate and it changes. So this way you're not stuck on a shipping cost and you don't lose money if shipping goes up and you were charging less. Late pledges. I have enabled late pledges. This gives people a certain amount of time to pledge if they missed the deadline. I have heard people say that this is a great thing. I've seen people mention how they've gotten like a ton of people pledging late as well. And so why not? The way that late pledges works, and when we go into the rewards and the story and all of that options for the actual items, you'll see that you if you pledge after the campaign closes, it's a higher price point. So that's there as well. So that's kind of like this first basics page that you get with your story. So the next one is the rewards page. And this one is the one that takes the most tinkering in, I will say. So I have several reward tiers. I have an ebook tier. I have an ebook with add-ons. And that means that if somebody wants to get an ebook, they can also get physical items shipped to them, like bookmarks and postcards and stickers and all of that. I have another one that's just the paperback. It's an early edition of the paperback plus the ebook. And then we have the main edition. This is the collector's edition hardcover plus the ebook, and then they get a deleted final chapter from the original 2 books. Then we have this one so we have a hardcover, ebook, deleted final chapter, and any unlocked stretch goals are in this one. And they just kind of go up from here, right? With the top one being a hardcover, a paperback, an ebook, deleted final chapter, your name in the acknowledgements, a personalized signature on the and a virtual office tour. So these are kind of my rewards. And so let me just click on the ebook one as an example. So the way you would set this up is you would put the title of your reward up here. You add an image right down here, your little spiel about what this is. I am adding how much this is approximately in USD because my location is Canada, but the majority of the people probably be from the US. And so I don't want them to think that this is a higher price point than it is for them because obviously conversion rates. And then this is where we're talking about that late pledge amount. So it's $10 for the ebook that in Canadian that I am charging on Kickstarter that they get straight to their device. But if they pledge late, it's an extra 10%. It's $11. I do have unlimited ebooks because we're not, I'm trying to see how many people want this. So I just put unlimited for everything. All my backers are the audience of this, and this is who can view, and you can say, I'm not doing that. It's my first one. I'm not getting nitty gritty on this. So now configure late pledges. And this one was very confusing to me at first, but the way that you would configure late pledges is the start date. It's not your late pledge start date, because intuitively that's what you might think. It's actually the start date of this tier. So when do you want your ebooks to be shown on the Kickstarter page? And I obviously want them shown when my campaign launches. But this is where the late pledge comes in. When do you want people to stop being able to pledge for this? And so I put, not for everything, but for certain tiers, I put that they can, that I will manually end this rewards availability. That means that when my campaign ends, people can still pledge and get an ebook or this reward, right? So if it's a paperback, they can still pledge and get a paperback. So that's kind of how that works. The items, you would add an item here, and there's a list of items that's running as you add them. And then estimated delivery, and I kind of calculated when I think I'll be giving away certain things depending on when like printing happens and when art comes in and all that stuff. This is a digital reward, so there is no shipping. So we're just going to save that, even though we didn't do anything. I saved everything 1,000 times. But now if we go into, say, the hardcover. So this is the hardcover, and this is kind of like the picture that I have for it here. And a little spiel on what you get in the hardcover. Now, the pledge amount is $95. And then again, I have this 69 USD approximately kind of thing. Also, on the right here, if you take a look on that preview, how the like where I'm highlighting, how everything kind of is stuck together. But if you look up here, when I'm typing it in the description, there's actually spaces. It will show in the spaces in the final. That was my biggest fear. In the final preview, it shows it with spaces, so do not worry. Alternative text, this is like, I put that in for everything. I think that's important. So for people who can't really like see as well on the screen, so that's really helpful. So again, we have our pledge amount and our late pledge amount for after. If some people want to still hop on that, I have everything, all the items that are listed in here. My estimated delivery for this date is obviously later than the ebook because the book is ready. But I will need to get things printed, and depending if people want signatures on them and stuff like that, it might be later. So I did not do shipping to anywhere in the world because there are certain places to ship to that it would just be like kind of ridiculous. And you'll see some of these prices as well, and it's pretty high. And this is where the estimation comes in. So I put shipping to certain countries, and I kind of pick like the top 5 that everybody picks. And in my description, I state that if you live somewhere outside of these countries, do contact me and let me know, and I can quote an approximate shipping price for you. So we can still do it. So now, my destinations are Australia, Canada, UK, United States, and the European Union. And the estimated shipping range, the way that I worked it out is that I had this first column, which is the minimum, is if we only get one hardcover. But in the second column is if they get like 2 hardcovers, or a hardcover and a paperback. Because I don't think people are buying like 70 books. I really do feel like most people will buy between 1 or 2 books. My estimations were for 1 to 2 books plus additional small swag. So that's kind of what my estimation is. Not the final shipping, because we'll find that out after I package everybody's packages and I weigh it and I tell them what it will be. So that's kind of what I have for the physical rewards. And like that's how I've set up all of these. Now on add-ons, I have a few different things. So I have a signed bookplate. You can get your name in the acknowledgments. If you are not in a tier that involves that, you can just get an add-on of the deleted final chapter. Again, if you're purchasing a tier that does not involve that. Character cards. I have foiled bookmarks that I'm going to get. I have die cut sticker sets by an artist that I got. You can get an additional paperback. Then we have name a side character. That's like a cool one, I think. And there's only 8 of these because obviously then everybody would be getting this. There's a limited amount. There's 10 of these. There's a 30-minute group call with me, which I think is really fun. I've seen people do that and people enjoy them. An additional special edition hardcover. And then you can actually become a side character. These are limited supply. There's only 5 of these. So you can become a side character in my future book. So these are kind of the add-ons. And the items list is just literally like all the items that we are using for all of this. So that is the rewards tab, just kind of at a view. Then we have the story tab. So the one thing I'm not going to go through is like payment, because that's going to have my personal information. But basically the payment tab is literally how you will be paid by Kickstarter, and you submit your bank information there. And that's it. People will click on it. There's not much there. Here, look, let's click on it first. So this is kind of your profile. So the one thing that you want is your vanity URL. You need to fill this out before you submit your project to Kickstarter to get approved, because if you want like a specific URL, if you have a different one, I accidentally had ANSH, but I realized I want this under Culture and Press as a full kind of company, because it's going to have my personal name on certain things. And so I actually messaged Kickstarter and they changed it for me. So if you make a mistake, they're risk support and they're wonderful. So now this is the story part. This is where you build your story. So this is what people will see when they first click on your Kickstarter. We'll do a preview of this in a second. So you can use things. So over here, I have this bolded, but you can also use, so I put this as a subheading. If this is a heading, it will be like on a menu on the left. And I did not want this as a menu item, so I just put it as a subheading. That just means it's going to be a bit bigger and bolder. And then this is kind of like me building out how I'm telling the story of what this Kickstarter is. So what I chose to do is I chose to do my little tagline, my byline here. And then I chose the if you love, and these are all kind of the hits of what the story is kind of like, and what is in it, so that to appeal to people to see, like, if you love any of this, then this is definitely for you. I have my little graphic that has the pretty book with the foiling, the hollow foiling, and all the different kind of tropes that are in the book. Then I have these special headers. So as you can see over here, this is like a heading. So it's a heading image. And when you go under here, you can section heading text. So you can put that text, and that's going in the menu for me. And when you put a picture in, by the way, this little arrow here, you click that to add a space. Otherwise, it will not add a space to it. It will just be like this. So there's these little finicky things that I kind of had to figure out for myself. Then if you want to add something, you just go here. You can add a paragraph, a heading, whatever it is. You can add a picture. You can insert media in the form of code. Like I have some YouTube videos that I've inserted in the form of code, or you can insert bulleted lists. So it's very minimal what you can do here, but you can make it look really nice and fit into the Kickstarter kind of atmosphere or landscape. So the first thing I have is about the campaign, and I have the book blurb over here. I have like all this kind of stuff here. I'm wondering if maybe this, let's see what this will look like with the subheading. Yeah, it's still a subheading, but for some reason, oh, is it not bolded? Here we go. So now it's bolded. See, we want to save that. Found something. This is good. We're doing it now. It's like a flight test for me right now. So I have the book blurb for Kartega. Then I have another heading. So the next section is inside the book. And I really wanted to kind of do the blurb, but then I really want to show people like immediately what it's going to look like, because it's a beautiful book. So you get a foiled case laminate cover. You get like really cool sprayed edges. You get printed end papers and head and tail bands. Get a satin ribbon. There's chapter artwork inside. And then we have interior art by Odette Aurora-Bach, who's like one of my favorite artists. And I love her. And she actually did the original art for the original cover. Brilliant artist. And so I used the art that she did for the two covers that I already commissioned her for inside of this, because I didn't want to lose it because they're so gorgeous. And Sid looks fantastic. And then the next section is the special features. So here, I kind of like highlighted them here in these graphics, but then I also featured them in the list for people where it's like a bit easier to read. So you kind of like really hit the point of what you're getting, because really people are there for the Kickstarter to get something cool, right? So I really want them to show them that they're getting a really cool item. if they support this. Then we have this video from YouTube, and this was put in as a YouTube link for the video. So that's right there. And that's literally just me showing the book so people can physically see a video of it. Our next section is the world of Kartega. And then here I kind of talk about the world and the world building and just the environment of the star that the whole story takes place on. And then I have another video, and this is a video that's just like another little kind of show of the book in the 3-point view. I did this video. So I filmed the video at home. I did the video on Canva. I laid it out, and I just posted it as a private video on YouTube and put that in here. And when I posted on YouTube, I clicked that and anybody with the link can view it. So that way it becomes available here. So that's kind of to interrupt all the wall of text that I have that's about the book and everything. Then I have about characters you love, and these are all the different main characters in the story. And as you can see, I kind of the design, because I'm a designer, I really wanted to hit it hard, and so everything matches, and it's got that like super like sci-fi like 80s feel that the cover has, and I wanted everything to be like really relatable that way. Then I have a little spiel about why this story matters, because I really do feel like the story matters, especially now. I also have a reader's favorite 5-star review that I received for this book when it first came out as a starter of a series, and then a few other 5-star reviews that it got. Not too many. I had more. I took them out from the advice of a few other authors who are on Kickstarter. So we just have this big one and then 2 reader reviews. The next section that I put in here is reading an excerpt. So if you want to read an excerpt, the first chapter, I have it up on my website. So you can just click here before you commit to getting the special edition. And then we go into backer rewards. Now, the reason that this is so low down on the list is because, and I'll show you when you get the preview, the rewards are kind of always listed on the right side there just by Kickstarter. And so I did not feel like I need to jump into the rewards because I just wanted to sell them on this, like to tell people this and sell them on the story, right? You want to know what they're getting first. And if they even like the story before you start giving them the options of how to get it, in my opinion. That's what I would have preferred as a backer. So that's what I'm doing. So this is an overview of the rewards at a glance. I know that all prices are Canadian, and you have to look at the rate below the main number on that right-hand side because that's going to be your country's rate. So I did a graphic of all the rewards, and that's all the rewards that we've set up before. I just put them in this cute little graphic so you can kind of see everything. And again, everything matches in visuals. And then we have add-ons. So I just kind of made a list of all the different add-ons that they could get. And like I linked to the artists' portfolios that have made some of these. And then a little graphic of the add-ons because it's cute. And like how cute are these little character cards. Then we have another video, and this one is me showing off the paperback here as well. Again, just to add another visual kind of cue here. I did note that they can get payment plans if they pledge over 175 Canadian or 125 USD. So they can check out the payment plan option. And then we get to the fun part, and these are the stretch goals. So I took a long time to calculate like pricing and what stretch goals to hit. And this is what I landed with. So my goal one, and it didn't say when or what price we get because I'm going to have to kind of like do calculations as we go as well. But the first one are digital wallpapers. So it's just a design and art of the digital portrait wallpapers. And these are already done. So that's great. And the goal 2 is a character art print of the team. Goal 3 are vellum inserts. Goal 4 as an exclusive chapter from Queen Leona's POV. Now, normally most people, something like an extra written part, they would kind of put it high above here because it doesn't cost them extra money to produce it. However, for me, my time is money. I'm very busy. And so for me, this would actually be more difficult to do than just to pay somebody to create more art. And so that's why it's goal 4 and not 1. Goal 5, and this one I really, really hope to hit because I would love to do this, is a map of the world inside the book. And I have an artist that I'm super excited to get to work with if we get here. And the final goal 6 is you also get an additional foiled dust jacket on top of the foiled laminate. That's going to be a completely different design. And again, obviously, if we blow past these, we'll get more, which will be great. Fingers crossed that we get all of these. I just really want to get to the map. That's like my main, that would be amazing. Um, and then over here, I noted that I'll be adding images of each swag item and book editions as we unlock these goals. So that as I see myself that we're getting inching closer to a goal, I will immediately contact the artists that I've pre-contacted and be like, okay, we're good to go, get going, like we're set. Here's your payment. Let's go. So I'm excited about that. Last, kind of towards the end, I put about the author, and this is just about me and other titles, which again, my website link is here. So I know this is very tiny and it's hard to see, but this just kind of shows that I have a big repertoire of titles out there. And so, I actually need to add Beasts of Hedge End onto here. So I will do that later. That's kind of that. And then we have the talent, and these are like, for the most part, I did a lot of this myself. So everything is designed by my design company, Cauldron Press. And then, I should probably, so let's see. So over here, there we go. I just realized I don't have a link on this. So let's add another link. There we go. Save it again. Always remember to save. And then I have the interior artwork of Sid, is Adetoro Bark, sticker set artwork by Surya Dexter. And again, if we head to stretch goals, these are different artists that I will be adding in here. As the campaign moves over, you're supposed to update and keep people posted and move things up and down. And if you reveal a stretch goal, you want to do a graphic and you put it on top. So because people want to see it, if you've hit and funded, you want to make a new graphic for that. So it's all pretty exciting. Distribution and shipping is the next one. And then over here, I just kind of put that everything is pretty much completed, what's not done, what is done, and when it's shipping out. I have estimated shipping costs in a graphic so that they can see it right away. And then I have a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo about like things for shipping. And I've used some other campaigns so if you go look at other campaigns, just follow them. It's everybody pretty much like copies each other on these. Then I have a completion timeline to kind of just like show them what we're working with as far as time goes. Then we go into policies, which is like claiming rewards, refunds and replacements, risks and things like that. And a big thank you with a link to Kickstarter's accountability. I have another section where I just fill out the same risks and challenges because Kickstarter asks you to do that. There is no use of AI for any of this, so that's a big no for me. And then I have FAQs down here with all the different questions. So that's kind of the story here. Oh, my toddler just came home. So that's the story portion. And the way that this will look is we'll click preview. So when the campaign goes live, you're going to see this. There's going to be my video here, which I'll kind of... That's kind of the video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but that's the video I made. And it goes between like me talking about the book and showing off the book. And it kind of goes back and forth like that. So then this is what it's going to look like. This is the menu that I've talked about before that you will see here. So you got the menu on the left-hand side of everything that we've treated as a heading. And then over here on the right-hand side, you can see all of the tiers are listed. This is why I put them at the end, because they're always on the right-hand side. But that story portion is right here. So this is everything that I went through, all filled out. And this is kind of what visually it would look like on the Kickstarter page. Like I've got a ton in here. So there's lots of information for people to go through. I want everything out in the open. It just makes it a lot easier. So that's kind of what that looks like. So if we exit the preview, the only other page we have are the people, which is we already talked about, and then the promotion page. So this promotion page is what you want to have in your pre-launch page. So you're going to have your pre-launch page, and that's you can run that for as long as you want. And this is the pre-launch page that's going up and will be up there until you click that green button that says you are ready to go. So it's kind of whatever you want it to be. So in my case, what I've put on is I've put on a different title for the top, and then I have like my spiel about the book. I want you to see what you're going to get inside the book over here with all those pictures, the same one. So you just copy paste from your story here. In written form, I got a little video on here. I've got a 1 5-star review. I've got my little tropes graphic here, and then another video of the paperback. And that's kind of like the the pre-launch page. And this will be up like today when this video goes live. If you want to go and follow the project, this is the page that's going to be up right now until we go live, and then the story page becomes live. Then you can create custom tags, and that just helps you track where your traffic is coming from, and then analytics, which clearly I know nothing about and don't use. So we're going to exit that. And that's basically what Kickstarter looks like for me. So let me just enlarge myself again. So essentially, that's kind of the back end of setting up a Kickstarter for a book, if you're an author, if you're running it. So hopefully this was helpful for you, because I really wanted to find something like exactly like this, like what I just did, but I couldn't find it when I was doing it. Like somebody just leading me through the back end of their campaign to help set it up. So hopefully this is something that was helpful to you. If you are thinking of setting up a Kickstarter and you have specific questions, put them below. I am by no means an expert. I am literally just about to launch my first one, but I've been through this for months. And so maybe I can help. So with that said, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me and being a part of this channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and join us here. I hope you support Kartega or come check it out. Because I'm super, super excited and proud of this book. And I cannot wait for it to go live. So with that said, I hope you guys have a awesome summer that we're having. And I hope you stay magical. And I will see you in the next video for another one. Bye.